Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hello. Welcome back to the Beacon House Podcast. I'm your host, Spence, and who's that sitting over there right across from me? Say hello.
Hey, guys. It's Grace Steele.
Ooh, she's a cutie. Listen, so fucking, what have you guys been up to? I miss everybody so bad. I just want to say that. We've been away for a minute. Grace, what have you been up to over there?
Not much. Just the holidays are finally over with.
Yes.
So, everything's just getting back to normal.
Yes.
Christmas trees taken down. Credit card statements are getting paid.
Yeah, I see. Like that first wave of bills that fucking rolls in after the holidays.
Yeah, it's just like, God, did I really spend $6,000 in December? Really?
It's rough, dude. It's how fun is it? And we were talking like back in December, like, go out of your way, holiday cheer, like get people presents, make it happen. It's awesome. You were talking about all the cool stuff you did, like for your daughter and stuff. And then like January comes in, it's just like you fall off the cliff and there's nothing to celebrate.
No.
And the bills just rush in.
Nothing. There's literally nothing to be excited about in January because it's just cold and then you got to pay bills and it's like, let's go. But the thing is everything quiets down.
Yes.
Like you don't have to you're not making plans. You're not like, oh, I got to go do this and this. It's kind of just like you get to chill out. And COVID hit hard.
Like hard as fuck.
Hard as hell.
I think I had it, and you do too.
I don't think I've been fucked harder than COVID.
Damn. And that's saying a lot. I'm kidding. That sounded bad. I meant based on.
No, I got you said. No, it is saying something.
That sounded terrible. What I just
Everybody
said.
has COVID.
Yeah. That's it.
It literally hit. It's like the second wave came, and it's just insane.
Fucking everybody got it. Like New York. One of my employees went to New York to see. I guess his family's up there. He came back and he was like, "Guess how many COVID cases are in New York?" This has been a week or two ago, but he said like 150,000 or something. Like. It was a lot. Like I was like 40,000. He goes 150,000, and I was like, and then like a whole bunch of people I know got it. Like shout out to our lovely bro Hunter and his wife, previous podcast host, singer of Burn the City. He and his wife Libby, who you hear at the beginning of the podcast, she's the voice that says "Welcome to Beacon House." They both had it. Fucking a ton of people I know got it.
Yeah,
and I think
tons of people. And like the thing is like everyone that I know that has it were vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like.
Oh yeah, I was.
Not to I'm not starting a rant, but it's kind of like you got your boosters and you're vaccinated. You still got COVID. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated. You're still going to get fucking COVID.
I was supposed to get my booster when I got sick. And so my whole situation, here's why mine was really, really weird. So I started getting really, really sick. And it was flu-like symptoms, like a lot of, upper respiratory shit. I had horrible sore throat, terrible drainage, nose, whatever. And I was like, is this COVID? Is this a cold? What have I got? So I made it a point, and I was just still working it. I put a mask on and just in case, but like I was really fucking sick. Like the kind of sick where I was like in the office, like, man, I'm fading fast. I got to get out of here. Like, guys, I'm sorry, I can't hang, that kind of shit. And like not going anywhere, staying home, taking vitamins, just trying to deal. And it
orange
just
juice,
wouldn't
soup.
fucking go away, man. It was like, I feel like I had, whatever that was, I think I had that on and off a bunch of times through December. Like I recall being sick like 4 or 5 times in the last month, and it sucks. And I know other people that have been dealing with that too. So somewhere in the middle of that, I got real sick on top of that. And this new kind of sick came with, and remember this because I'll tell you about when I talked to the doctor. I had night sweats, loss of smell. It went from like a big, like nasty cough where all the shit's coming up to like a dry, raspy cough. And I was like, that's COVID. Those are all classic COVID symptoms. And so I was like, I went and got tested for COVID and the test came back negative. And I was like, oh, and so I immediately went to the doctor and he goes, so you tested negative? I said, yeah, man, it's crazy. And he goes, well, the night sweats and the loss of smell, those are COVID giveaways. And he goes, well, I don't know. I guess it's just the flu then, because you definitely have flu. And
you probably had COVID at the same time.
I had flu.
See, the first time I had COVID, I lost my sense of smell and my taste.
Yeah.
See, I've had COVID twice now, and I'm not sick. Like, I don't feel bad. This past time, last week when I had COVID, I had a cough, and that was it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel sick. Like,
So
I didn't.
you had COVID recently too, probably maybe the same time I did.
Yeah. So basically, like, I guess you're with friends and family, Christmas, everyone's going out, and New Year's, everyone just got fucking COVID. We all just got it. It's all around. I think like 10 people that I know got it at the same time that I did.
I think 2 weeks ago, just in Knox County, I saw some numbers on it. The COVID cases jumped in a week from like 1,200 to like 1,900. Like, that's just like, that was right after New Year's. So I remember you and I got together and we went to see Spider-Man. And like right after that is when I started feeling bad.
Yeah.
But like, here's the weird thing. I was so sure, and my doctor was so sure that I had it. And he goes, well, you might have gotten a false negative, whatever. Listen to this. Here's why I don't think I turned out positive for COVID. Because I was watching fucking some show, or it might have been Joe Rogan or something, but there was this doctor who was talking about, he said, you know what? A lot of people could be more resistant to COVID if they would like disinfect their sinuses, like with a nasal rinse. And I was listening. He goes, I had it and I was trying to treat it, but it was in my nose and my throat and it was just reproducing. That's what COVID does, is it reproduces fast as shit. He goes, so all you got to do is get like a nasal rinse, either like a neti pot, or you could actually get a little bottle, a squeeze bottle.
Yeah.
That works way better than neti pot, and it's not all awkward. You know.
Whenever I have a really bad cold, I use one.
Yeah.
And you just and it's like saline, like salt water, and you just squirt it all around, and you disgustingly go.
And you have to suck it.
Nostril.
Yeah. You're supposed to kind of like suck it back and spit it out, so it's got to go all the way back. But you can do that with like a saline rinse. But this guy was like, hey, put some like betadine. Betadine is what they use in the ER for cuts. It's like brown.
Yeah.
He goes, put like 2 tablespoons of betadine in the thing and then rinse your nose with that and it'll totally disinfect your sinuses. So I was like, hey, this is it. This is like going to COVID proof me. Because if you're out here around a lot of people, when you come home, rinse your nose with that stuff. It'll disinfect it. Like your chances of getting COVID go almost away.
You hear this, people?
It was wrong. So,
don't do it.
No, don't fucking do it. For one, it hurts. 2, it just makes your nose feel fucking weird. And 3, when they went to do the nasal swab, I had been using that shit, so it had disinfected the inside of my nose, and it came back negative.
You think that's what? Yeah.
But I'm sure that I had it because as soon as I saw a doctor, he gave me some medicine, and like the flu stuff started to go away. I was left with this very dull, dry cough, no smell, and like just a little bit of night sweats. And I was like, oh, this is COVID by itself. And it had to be the new variant. You know, it was very mild and it lasted for a couple of days. But by then I was on like antibiotics and all this stuff. And like I came out of it, but I was like, motherfucker, I had Flu-Rona, what they're calling Flu-Rona, where you get them both together. Like the fucking viruses are ganging up now. They're like, hey, what do you do? I don't know. What do you do? Let's go. You want to go?
Let's get together.
Let's go to town and together. You can ride with me. I don't know. Let's go in this guy's nose. Let's fuck him up. You know, that's why everybody's so fucking
that's
sick right now.
Everyone is sick.
I
feel fine. Thank God I'm off quarantine.
Yeah. I'm just getting to where I can kind of smell again now. But man, I want to recommend, I do think it's important to rinse your nose out. And it is true that viruses and stuff in the nose reproduce like crazy.
It does. Don't
keep your nose and throat clean.
They say don't, when you cough phlegm up, don't swallow it back. When your nose is running, don't snuff it back in and swallow it. You've got to get it out.
Because that goes into your chest.
Yeah,
right?
You've got to like just blow all the nasty stuff out. And I would like to say, I've worked at a lot of places where I've been sick, and I know that a lot of businesses are having problems keeping their employees there, and a lot of employees are having problems with, like, do I choose my job or, with my paycheck or my health? If you're sick, don't go to work, and do not ask your employees to come in. Because I've worked at places where I've had a cold or a flu or anything, and I tell my boss, and they're like, they don't give 2 shits, and they're just like, come on in. Well, you're infecting everyone.
Yep.
And it just got to this
point.
And
luckily, I think that's one thing about this pandemic that's kind of changed. Like, it's not okay to like browbeat your employees into coming in anymore. It's not okay to for somebody to try to guilt you to come to work when you're sick. Like now, if you're sick, stay the fuck home. and stop the spread of it. Even if it's just there. I mean, I can even say based on my experience, like if I had the flu and COVID, which I think I did, the flu was way worse.
Oh yeah, the flu's the.
So if you're just telling people with COVID to stay home, but it's just the flu, come on in, fuck that. You'd be better off spreading COVID. Everybody'd be like, I almost feel sort of bad, but the flu will fucking put you down. Mm-hmm. So, and pneumonia and pneumonia can come from either one of them.
You get bronchitis from this, like when you're coughing constantly.
Shit ain't right.
I will say, like, one of the things that I did have, because I had that slight cough, is like I would have a shortness of breath. Like it would be difficult to breathe, like going up and down the stairs. It's just difficulty breathing.
I did too.
Couldn't smoke. It was just like...
Dude, and I'll tell you something else that happened to me right on top of all that is I did something to my fucking foot and I tore up the tendons in the bottom of my foot and I got like plantar fasciitis and I had to wear this boot. So I'm like sick as fuck. I'm walking. I've got fucking like toilet paper sticking up my nose inside of a mask because it won't stop running. I'm coughing and I'm trying not to cough. I'm doing job interviews and I'm talking to people and I'm trying.
Still at work?
Yeah, this is before the doctor diagnosed. As soon as my COVID test was negative, I was like, well, I put a mask on and like just go. Like I almost never call into work unless I feel like I'm super contagious.
All business.
But I was trying like to cough to make people nervous, and it was just I had this like real dry, raspy cough, and I was like, damn it. And you know what? Actually, I found out. And a lot of people already know that. I'm late to the party on this. The absolute best cough suppressant is honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ran out of honey, and so I was just...
Actually, it's whiskey.
Is it really? Whiskey and honey?
Well, you can do both, yeah, but it's actually whiskey is
Every
the
time
best
I would take a big
cough
shot of fucking honey, I would stop coughing for like 3 hours.
I could have the flu with a fever and feel like absolute garbage and take like 3 shots of whiskey and I feel like I'm not sick and I can just go rule the world.
See, and that coffee is very much like that for me. If I can get enough coffee, I feel like I've almost overcome death.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Like if I just drink, I'll feel fine. Throat's fine.
You had hot toddy? Did you make hot toddies ever?
See, I have had hot toddies, but I just don't like, I'm not big on hot, like liquor
Whiskey,
drink.
yeah,
they're disgusting to me.
The last time I
but I
got
love whiskey.
sick, I made a version of a hot toddy at home, and it actually helped a lot. But I will say this. So honey is great for a cough. That proved to be true. Mm-hmm. And I do think if you are around a lot of people, when you go out and you're around a bunch of people and everybody's talking or whatever like that, when you get home, it definitely does make sense to gargle with something like Listerine because a lot of that shit, and also...
And salt water.
My friend Rachel, shout out Rachel Reeds, who she'll be on soon. I hope she's been on Beacon House before. But her mom works at the hospital, and she told me that they're getting a lot of false negatives on the new COVID because it's not as much in the nose, it's in the throat. So you want to get a throat swab if you really want an accurate test. But if you gargle, and I do recommend using some kind of a nasal rinse, but don't put fucking betadine in it, and don't do. And the guy later in that same fucking video, the guy goes, or you could put a little hydrogen peroxide in it. Well, guess who tried that? My stupid ass. And guess what that fucking feels like? It feels like somebody drove a fucking Tesla through your face.
Oh God,
it's horrible. So yes, there's a saline rinse you can get, but for the argument is that the saline doesn't necessarily. I know I'm on a fucking tangent here. I'm trying to wrap this up. The argument is that the saline doesn't necessarily kill germs as much as something like a disinfectant. So I found out you can get a nasal rinse that has xylitol in it. And xylitol is this amazing thing that's in what's the gum I carry? I'm having to look at my pocket.
Trident.
Trident gum has xylitol in it. And it's been known to reverse cavities in people if you chew enough of it. But xylitol is like a super I forget how it works, but it basically makes germs not...
I'm just going to eat that once a day.
Bro, it's good stuff. But you can get a nasal rinse that has xylitol in it. Doesn't hurt, doesn't fuck your nose up, doesn't make you feel crazy, but will usually disinfect. So I'm going to try some xylitol nasal rinse. But anyway...
You try that.
Careful, because when you put shit in your nose, it can fuck up your COVID test. It can fuck up the accuracy. And you might have the Flu-Rona and not know Ona it. No. Flu-Rona with no Ona.
That was such a corny dad joke.
Thanks, Brew. I'm a dildo. The fucking not only did my sense of smell get injured, so did my sense of humor.
Oh no, you're still hilarious.
But I'm back. I'm back now. We'll see.
know
But
what
no, everybody's sick. It sucks.
Everyone is sick. I'm just glad to not be on quarantine. Fucking hated DoorDash. Cooked a lot, did a lot of that. So that's good. But finally got my chicken wings last Monday. Went to Buckethead. I think they have, I personally think, as bar chicken wings go, they have the best.
They're there.
Because they're meaty, they're good. The sauce is right on it. It's not, because I can't stand dry chicken wings and then where all the sauce is just on the paper in the basket.
Fuck that. So,
Everyone, and that's how I feel like Rooster's chicken wings are. Everyone loves Rooster's chicken wings, but every time I get chicken wings from there, it's just like, it's all bread and all the sauce is just on the bottom.
and I
can't stand that.
I made the comment that I like Rooster's wings, and now looking back on it, I don't think the wings were that particularly great. I think just their variety, like you could get
They
so
have
many
an
different
amazing
kinds.
variety.
And also the fact that the last time I went to Roosters, I was trying to go there to watch the Golden State Warriors, probably in the finals. And there's a TV every 14 inches. Like if you're looking at one TV, there's almost another TV touching the back of your head.
I think there's like 30,
I don't
25
know.
TVs in there.
It's amusing, and you can't get a bad seat. And so I think when I was like, well, I like the wings at Roosters, I think what was probably going on is I just
you liked the atmosphere.
I liked Roosters to go, and they just happen to have wings. But yeah.
I think it's great.
I'll try
Buckethead.
Buckethead.
Buckethead has some amazing. They have some of the best. I don't eat onions, but I like their onion rings.
Really?
Yeah. They're so good. Like whatever their batter that they use, I don't know. They're delicious. Love them to death. I made a Facebook post about pizza yesterday. You commented, had a bunch of people commenting on it.
And sitting next to you.
Sitting next to me is an extra large cheese pizza from Elidio's.
And yes, Miss Grace Steele has gotten her Elidio's pizza.
I did.
And she is happy.
I am very content.
Good.
Fuck me and call me pretty. Made a reservation for Adopo.
Boss move.
So I'm excited about that. I haven't tried it. Heard great things.
Adopo is wonderful. And anybody that decides to go to Adopo, I recommend getting what they call sweet hot on your pizza. And it's the
drizzle.
It's like a drizzle, and it's exactly the way it sounds. It's got sweet and extremely spicy qualities to it, and it finishes off a pizza super wonderfully.
Well, out of all, let's see here, how many? Out of all 47 comments and everyone who recommended pizza,
oh shit,
Elidio's won.
Really?
Had the most recommendations.
I like Elidio's.
South Coast and South Knox was next.
Okay.
In line. Then you and Emily talked about pizza.
Pizzeria Nora. Mm-hmm. I'm sure
someone said West High School had the best pizza.
The cafeteria.
Awesome. And the gas station at 2:48 a.m., which was a very strange time for him to just choose.
I think that the idea behind that is if you're about 2:48 a.m., any fucking pizza tastes good.
Any fucking pizza will taste good at that point.
You're coming from the bar, yeah.
Yeah. I had a couple of people saying Barley's. Barley's pizza is good, but I wouldn't say it's the best out there. It's a hit or miss. I've had good pizza from Barley's. I've had bad pizza from Barley's. It's really who's ever making it.
I would equate Barley's maybe to like Big Ed's.
I've lived here my whole life. Never been to Big Ed's.
So here's the thing. Like, it's probably at this point been built up to the point where no matter what happens when you finally go there, it's not going to live up to the expectations. Big Ed's is okay, but it's almost one of those things like Roosters. There's this whole like
it's the atmosphere, it's the experience.
It's if you grew up or you lived anywhere near Oak Ridge, or if you went to Oak Ridge High School, or I had a friend that worked for the city of Oak Ridge, and they would always eat at Big Ed's. It's just kind of a thing. But when you start comparing it to like, it's in my opinion, this is all just my opinion, folks. But
everybody has one, like an asshole.
Yeah, except for some people, they have two or three. That's where I'm going to put a noise. I've got those noises. Maybe I'll just leave those noises on maybe my voice. But when you compare them, I don't feel like Big Ed's lives up to Elidio's or Adopo, or definitely not Pizzeria Nora. Those pizzas are so good that
I used to think Gavino's was the best.
Gavino's? I don't know.
There's two. There's one in Farragut, and then I think the main one is in Bearden.
Interesting.
Worst parking lot to ever try to fucking park in. It's absolutely horrible. But I used to think that they have the best, but Elidio's just wins.
Yeah. I would say
I'm sitting in my car. I was driving while eating. I was just like, I got to get this in my mouth as soon as possible. So good. Smells wonderful.
Yeah. Lido's is good. Dude, I think for dine in, like a place to go sit down and eat pizza, that's where Adobo really wins because they have a real cool little atmosphere. It's walking distance to like a bunch of cool bars. It's right behind Mill and Mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's right behind Mill and Mine. Public house.
Yeah, dude. And it's super, super good. And they have some like real gourmet type options and things. And they have phenomenal gelato. Like they'll have like crazy good gelato. Shauna, our bro Shauna, shout out. And I went there one time and they served us, they were like, hey, you got to try this. We've got a limited edition gelato. And I was like, well, what is it? Tell me about it. And it was like, it's something with like they filtered the milk through charcoal. And it was like a chocolate charcoal soak. So, I don't know. It didn't make any sense, the description of it. And the guy was like, look, if you guys don't like it, I'll bring you something else. But you got to try it. And like, it was so fucking good.
Do they have different flavors every day?
Oh, yeah. They have a bunch of stuff. The pistachio is a big hit, and it goes quick. But definitely go to Adobo and be ready to like take some home and get the gelato. Like
I'm excited.
Don't sleep on the gelato. Like save a couple slices to take home and eat the fucking gelato. Freaking good. Grace, tell everybody about this trip you're about to take.
All right. So I'm going on this wonderful trip with my good friend Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam. What's up?
He travels for work, and he just had a death in his family, and he's just having a really hard time, and he's asked me to come and spend some time with him in Oregon.
I can't think of better company to have through troubling times. We're sending Grace Steele to the rescue. It's going to be fucking amazing.
It is. It's going to be awesome. Lots of laughs. It's going to be an amazing experience. I've been wanting to do a cross-country road trip forever. I've never been to California. I've never been to Oregon. I've been to Vegas. That's the farthest west that I've gone. I'm super excited. So I'm leaving very soon for Oregon, going to Cave Junction.
What is Cave Junction?
It's literally like 50... like maybe an hour or less to the border of California and the coast.
Okay.
So it's like right there, like here's this
kind of like Northern
like right
California, near Monterey.
Yeah, it's literally on the edge of the Redwood National, like whatever it's the forest.
Are you going to go there?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes.
So you got to send me pictures.
Oh, I will. So I'm basically going to like document everything that we're doing. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to like help and get his mom's things in order and everything. He's like going through a really hard time. He needs someone there to like help. So that's what we're doing. But what I'm excited about is this road trip. So I'm going to be in Oregon for a couple of days, and then we leave Oregon and we will be driving through California to Reno, Nevada to Vegas.
Shit.
We'll be spending 2 nights in Vegas. Super excited. I haven't been to Vegas in a very long time. I'm going to see my grandmother that lives there. It's going to be exciting. But we got a penthouse at the Bellagio.
I heard something about a 2-story strip bar with a Mexican restaurant in it.
Yes.
Or as I like to call it, heaven.
Heaven. Yeah. Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I'm super, super stoked. We're going to see some shows, some comedy stand-up where we're looking into like everything that's going on. So we'll be there for 2 nights. Super excited. Going to get a lap dance while I eat a taco. That's great.
Fucking goals. I call it goals.
I feel like I should just wear my lingerie with the girls.
I mean,
and see what happens. Just maybe they won't even know I don't work there, and I and I can leave with a couple bands.
Somebody's gotta get a good photo of this. If you're getting a lap dance eating a taco, we should frame that and put it on the wall.
We should. I'm just super excited.
Okay.
I'm super excited. I hope she's a redhead. Natural boobs. Love me a redhead.
If not, at least the taco will be
good. At least
good.
a taco. That's a... I'm going to have a...
Hey.
I got a taco and a taco.
Yay, yay.
Not my taco. Anyway, so it's going to be super fun. I'm excited. Sam's going to have a blast. He needs this. So then we leave from Vegas and we'll drive through Arizona, New Mexico to Amarillo, Texas. Now, Amarillo, Texas is very spread out. They don't have a huge downtown, but there are things to do there. What I'm excited to see is something called the Cadillac Ranch, where there are 10 Cadillacs upside down, buried in the desert. And you basically, people like spray paint, and like there's all this crazy graffiti, and like people leave spray paint cans on the ground, and you can like do your own. So I'm totally doing like Grace Steele. Should put some Beacon House on there. Beacon House
Grace
podcast.
was here.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So, but we're not really going to do much in Amarillo.
That's weird. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Might try to find a strip club there too.
Shit. Okay.
Try to see.
Is that the destination in Amarillo? Is that the Cadillac Ranch? That's why you're going to Amarillo?
No, well, just driving wise, trying to break it up each day. That makes the most sense. Like we could have stopped in Albuquerque, but that's a little too close to Vegas. And if we went from Albuquerque to Memphis, that's a 16-hour drive. So Amarillo is kind of just like right in the middle where we need it.
Got it.
So then we'll drive through Oklahoma City. I don't really care to stop in Oklahoma City. So I was like, we'll just keep going unless there's a tornado, which I've always wanted to do a storm chasing. So I've already looked at the weather for the coming week to see if there will be any major storms while we drive through. I think I didn't hit anything. I don't think there's.
Ladies
I think
and
it's
gentlemen,
a loss.
one of the few people that goes looking for tornadoes, Grace Steele. I'm not surprised a bit. Respect.
I want to chase one. Ever since I was a kid watching Twister. It's great.
Fuck.
So we're doing that. So then we'll just drive to Memphis. We'll stay in Memphis. Of course, barbecue. My mom's from Memphis. I think I still have family that's there. Might stop and see some of them.
Man, I'll tell you this. When I recently got back from Kansas City and I made all these statements, and I'm a Tennessee boy, but I went to Kansas City.
Man.
Yeah, thanks for that. I remind myself sometimes. But
you're not a boy, you're a real man.
I'm a real man.
You're a real man.
I ate a steak once. I carried my own laundry to the
like
bedroom.
tacos.
I heard there's a strip club with a Mexican restaurant in it. I might go there. I'd be embarrassed. My burrito would be stiff. But I got back from Kansas City and I made all these statements on social media like an asshole. And I was like, I found the home of barbecue. I found the last word in barbecue. The greatest barbecue in the United States lives in Kansas City. And
a lot of people say that.
And I still think it might be true, but some of my friends from Memphis went on my social media and they were like, you shut your dirty ass mouth.
Memphis is the home of barbecue.
And I've had Memphis
And have you ever
barbecue.
been in a real barbecue joint?
Oh, yeah. That's the ones I look for.
Yeah, they're like a real one. I'm talking like dirt floor.
Like you don't feel safe. Yeah,
no, like
the real
it's
thing.
dirty.
You smell it from a mile.
You're sitting at a wooden pick.
Shit, yes.
Yeah, that is where you get the best barbecue right there.
Oh yeah.
Not Buddy's barbecue.
No,
we're not talking about some Buddy's barbecue. We're talking about real Memphis ribs, beans,
smoked ass ribs. The real thing.
Some chitlins.
Yep. No, I have that. I have had that barbecue. In fact, you can get some pretty good Memphis style barbecue in Nashville. There's some places.
You can't because Memphis is only like 2 hours away from there.
It's kind of indigenous. But
if you're stopping in Memphis, you gotta do the barbecue.
Well, and I will say this to be fair, if anybody's listening that heard that, my favorite barbecue that I ate in Kansas City was kind of Memphis style. It was like a sweeter, tangier. It wasn't the real spicy, dry offense. Like some of the Kansas City barbecue is manly, but the barbecue I preferred was kind of more on the Memphis side of things. Because that makes it easy. If you've not had all this barbecue,
I hear Kansas City has amazing barbecue.
They do.
So I don't doubt that it does. But going through Memphis is just where you got to go.
Also, Memphis is freaking Graceland, the home of the blues. Come on.
Yeah. So we'll stay there, and then we'll be back in Knoxville, and I'm going to have tons of stories.
I'm dying to hear the stories from Grace Steele's cross-country adventure.
This is just spur of the moment, but it's something that's really needed. I need it. I need to get away. I need to disconnect.
Dude,
from here.
I'll tell you what, man. When you lose somebody really close to you, like a parent or just somebody super, super close, it forces you to think a lot about death. Mm-hmm. And everybody's initial inclination of death, growing up watching horror movies, that death is bad. You want to avoid death at all costs. Like death, run away from death. Don't talk about it.
Do not run away from death. I think that's stupid because you can't run from death.
Yeah, nobody can. we're all going to go.
Yeah. I mean,
so you have to kind of, at some point in your life, at some point growing up, or you have to sort of reconcile your feelings about death. And if they're you being afraid and running from death, you haven't done it.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm not saying you want to get so comfortable with it that you're obsessed with death, but
yeah, because that's not healthy.
But
Becoming
a
obsessed
couple
with
weeks
death.
ago, you read something that you'd written, and I thought it was absolutely stellar. And
I've read it for a few other people, and they're like, yeah, like, this is amazing. Read it to my sister, and she was like, God, Grace, that's dark. And it's like, it's not dark. Maybe your mind just hasn't expanded because you're still so young.
Yeah.
To like understand. But like, I wrote this, I think it was like more than a few weeks ago. I think it was like 2 months ago.
Like in December, maybe?
Yeah, so like I wrote this like a little backstory. So like I get in the moment when I'm like listening to music, or like I am a super emotional person. Like, I'm an empath, so I have a lot of feelings and I feel hard, which also is dangerous because at the same time where I can feel hard is if I don't feel like I'm getting that love or emotions back, then all my emotions to you are dead. And then there's nothing there anymore. Do you get what I'm saying?
Totally. It's an extreme, I absolutely understand this. You have this extreme, I'm an empath too. And you're very outgoing.
It means you're kind of psychic.
I don't, who knows? I don't know about that, but whoever's listening, you better watch out.
I'm seeing what you're doing.
Yeah. Around that next corner, watch out. But you feel things very intensely, but also you're able to be wounded very intensely. And you're also you're able to put your defenses up very intensely. You build a lot of walls, because your feelings are so hyper vulnerable, but also hyper intense.
Right. Yeah. So I wrote this like literally at like spur of the moment. I was in my car. These words were just like flowing through me. I was driving. I got home as soon as I could to like stop and get on my phone and the notebooks and like jotted this down. Like I didn't edit it, nothing.
And that's
like
true inspiration.
This is just like how I felt. And so like what it has to do is like with love, but death is part of it. So when you feel, so I'm going to read it and then we can pause and our listeners can think on that for the moment and any inspirations that it may come. And then we can discuss on what it means to you, because I know what it means to me, and who it's meant for.
Okay.
Because it's about someone who has made me feel this way.
It has a specific object.
It does. It
Okay.
does. So,
Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the writings of Grace Steele.
Okay. I do not fear the inevitable. I will embrace death, for it comes for all. Love is what I fear the most, and I do not welcome it with open arms. My death will be the most personal thing I can experience, and it is only for me to experience when it comes. For those who fear death must not know that it isn't love that sets us free, but death. For when I love, I am tied to you, and I cannot free myself from myself. And even in death, love cannot be broken, for it goes on forever to ripple through time and space, and death can be a sweet release.
Very deep.
A little.
Well, I think the subject matter is very, very deep.
Yeah.
And yes, my opinions on death and how inevitable it is, and also possibly how freeing it can be or will be or has been for other people.
Death is free.
Yeah, it's complete freedom from the trappings of whatever your struggles are, whatever I don't know. I'm not saying life isn't great, but life is a big struggle.
Life is hard. Life is beautiful, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Like love. Love is hard. Love is scary. And for me, love is more terrifying and more painful than death.
Yes. I think now, I wouldn't have said that 15 years ago, maybe not even 10 years ago. But at this point in my life, I would agree with that. I'm far less afraid of dying than I'm afraid of like getting involved and like losing a piece of myself or hurting somebody or getting hurt by somebody, or you know what I mean? Like the love is complicated. It's very, very complicated and tricky. And sometimes it turns us into not the best version of ourselves, you know, but all that stuff you said when you described life and you described love, like tough, but beautiful. I think death is a lot like that too, or it's not unlike those things in that way.
Well, death is beautiful in its own way. I mean, a lot of people are scared of death, you know, because they want to hold on to like what we have here, you know, which I understand. Like your relationships, me, Finn, my dog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, but your children, your family, everything. People hold on to these things, but death is so inevitable that it's like you're gonna have to give it up. So might as well go ahead and accept it, because it can come at any time.
And you're going to be super, super unhappy if you find out you're facing it. Like, and I hope this doesn't happen to anybody, obviously, but like if you go to the doctor and he finds something, or you realize that you thought you had a lot of time that you didn't have, and maybe you've only got a year, or, you know, I don't know. This is just hypothetical, but if you spent your entire life thinking that somehow death wasn't supposed to happen, it's wrong. It's wrong when people die. It's wrong when pets die.
Like you're going to be able to outrun it.
Yeah. Or you've got so much time that, well, I don't want to think about it because it's going to be so far off. If you've never really like come up on it and said, okay, look, like it's like you said, inevitable. I think that's probably the best way to describe death. It's super inevitable. Life and death are inevitable. Love is not.
No, love is not.
Different kinds of love may come and go, or they may not ever manifest, or you may find like that. And sometimes I think the older I get, I'm finding this out, that I'm just not cut out for that kind of romantic love. No matter how good it looks to me, I'm a lot better off kind of on my own a lot of times. I manage myself better. I'm a better version of myself when I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I'm real social, and like I'm going on dates and stuff, like, you know, we'll see. But love is not necessarily inevitable. Death is inevitable. So you better figure it out sooner or later.
You better. And you know, hopefully in your own way, you can accept it.
Yeah.
But also with this, and what I mean is when I say, for when I love, I am tied to you, and I cannot free myself from myself. And even in death, love cannot be broken, for it goes on forever to ripple through time, which is true, because we're still hearing about love stories from people who have been dead for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That love is an imprint left in time.
I agree.
And it can't be broken no matter what. There's like, you know, in the movie Hercules, the cartoon, where the three oracles have the eye and they're holding it, but they have the silver or the gold string, and they're cutting it to cut someone's life, and they can't cut it. They can't cut Hercules. That's, to me, what love is right. It's there. It's not going anywhere. And death is what releases you from that, because it can be painful. For me, it's painful, and it's absolutely terrifying. Did
you hear they said, you know, Betty White passed along recently?
Yes. And Bob Saget.
Oh, God. I know. But they said, I read, I don't know how true this is, but I read somewhere that her last words were, she said the name of her husband, who had died like 30 years prior. And like, I forget the guy's name, but that was apparently at the moment of her shuffling loose the mortal coil, as they say, what was on her mind was getting to see her husband.
Yeah.
It wasn't, oh my God, like my back hurts, or I'm freaked out about it. She was
dying. I'm not here. I didn't do enough.
It's like, honey, I'm home.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And that I think that says a lot. Now, again, there's a possibility that there's no afterlife, and we just fizzle out and our energy swirls through the cosmos and we never see our loved ones again, and there's no heaven, and that could be true. But I don't know. I still think she might have been having a delusion. But also, anybody that would just write that off as like, there's no chance she knew anything. I think you would have to maybe look at how people act in their last moments. Mm-hmm. People do a lot of weird shit in the very last moments of their life.
Yeah.
They see things, they say things, they have like an amazing peace comes over them. They talk about certain things. I think you'd have to really look at that before we decide, was Betty White crazy, or like, you know what I mean? They said she was very calm and she just said the name of her husband.
Yeah, she went very peacefully.
Yep.
you know? And so in that sense, maybe death was released because she missed her husband, and that's where she was going.
Yeah, and that's
in her
beautiful.
Mind. And that's what she's going towards.
That's super beautiful. Even though death is unfortunate, and it is an end, I think people are uncomfortable when things end, like especially things you like. I like Betty White.
People are uncomfortable with not being able to control. You cannot control death. There is nothing you can do.
That's a great observation.
People they're afraid of not being able to control something. That's why also, like with me, like I'm absolutely terrified. I'm not afraid of death. I welcome it. I'm not killing myself. No one be like, oh, Grace, suicidal. I'm not killing myself. But any time if it was to come to my doorstep tomorrow, I'd be like, hello, you coming to take me home?
And honestly, I think, and who knows? Now, again, people cling to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a parent, but I know that people who are parents, like that gives them a whole other reason to want to be around for a while. And that makes it probably a little less easy to welcome death, knowing they're going to be separated from their children and vice versa. And I mean, I get all that stuff, but as you get older, I think the idea of like that, like the end of the struggle, the end of the stress, the end of the strife, the end of the pain, a lot of things that are kind of woven into life, whether you like it or not, and no matter how good your life is, it's full of those things. It's full of pain. It's full of setbacks. It's full of sorrow, loss, suffering. Suffering is a big one, and death kind of stops looking like in your horror movies when you were a kid,
right?
Like a guy comes up from behind you're camping and you shouldn't have had sex, and he's in the boathouse stabbing you. It starts to look a lot like a release from all the things that are actually killing you as you go through life.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I meant for it. It is when someone is in pain or they're hurting or because when you have heartbreak, which you feel like you're dying. Yeah. Like I know for me, like I feel it so strongly that I never want to do it again.
You know what?
I never want to love. I don't want to date. I don't want to do any of it again because I feel like I'm dying and I can't come back from it.
Dude, I did die once for 11 minutes. I was actually dead for 11 minutes from a car accident when I was a teenager. And I'm here to tell you, I would much rather go through that again than a really bad, ugly breakup that just happened. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I told my friend when I read this to him, I was like, and we were talking about it, I was like, if someone gave, say, an angel or whoever came down and was like, you can either feel heartache, like have your heart broken again, or you can choose death. Which one would you choose? I would immediately choose death. I'd be like, just take me from this planet. I do not want to go through that pain.
Fall on the sword, yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It is the worst feeling in the world. It hurts. I run away from it. I'd prefer, this is why like I get so angry when I do find someone and I want to be with them and I feel like it's going to work and then it's just not and things aren't adding up and it just goes, for me, because I am such an emotional person, it hurts so bad. Yeah. And I would rather, I'd rather fall on Lancelot's sword than
I'd rather fall on a stiff burrito.
Just give me some strippers and tacos. I'll be I will be content for a while.
You'd be like, all these tacos.
You know, and I would say really me dating men and women, it's not, neither one is easier.
It hasn't gained an advantage.
It's not easier. In my relationship with my ex-girlfriend, I wasn't sensitive enough.
You weren't sensitive enough?
I wasn't sensitive enough. But then in a relationship with a guy, I'm too sensitive. It's like I have too many emotions. I feel too much.
You know what? I think you're great.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And spoiler, I kind of mean that for everybody. Like, if I had to say one thing, man, like, everybody now do the work, keep your shit in check. If you notice yourself getting a little crazy, check yourself, watch how you treat other people, and try to be your best self. Keep yourself a little bit under the microscope. Watch what you do. But after that, if somebody isn't happy with the way you are, fuck them.
Yep.
Your buddy Spence here to tell you.
Match their energy.
Yeah.
If their energy doesn't match yours and you're putting too much into it.
Yeah. Or if you watch what you say and you say what you mean and you're kind of, you try not to get too emotional or you try not to be too emotionless. And I mean, if you're legitimately getting good at not being a crazy person, then you're okay. Like I would be careful letting anybody say you're too emotional or you're too this. Like, I mean, somewhere there's got to be tolerance. Somewhere in love there has to be tolerance and forgiveness. And maybe not just in love, maybe in life. This is a big conversation. I don't even know where I'm going, but like,
no,
you know
I would agree.
saying?
In life, that's totally.
At some point, like if somebody's coming up and they're like a little intense, you kind of have to forgive them for that and just like appreciate their eccentricity and kind of be like, whoa, you're a lot. Like, and you know what I mean? Can we not smile about it? But if somebody's like, hey, you're too this, you're too that, or like
they're not your person.
Fuck them.
Yeah, they're
fuck
not.
'em. Like, and also, who gets to say how you need to be? You know what? Somebody could easily go, wow, I'm not as outspoken as you, or I'm not as emotional as you, but they don't have to make it like you're wrong for being that way, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like you might be super outgoing and then somebody's just kind of quiet and you're like, dude, I can't tell if you're mad or not. Like I'm very outgoing. I'm telling you all my feelings and you're just not saying shit. And that should be okay. You should be like, yeah, I just don't say my stuff a lot. But people should at least, I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say, I'm rambling, but what I'm trying to say is like, it's okay to be however you're going to be, but I think it's bad when you start kind of making other people feel like it's not okay how they are.
Right.
You know, like we're not supposed to be the same. We're supposed to compliment each other like keys in locks, like cheese in tacos.
Never make someone feel bad for who or how they are.
Yeah.
You can't invalidate somebody's feelings or emotions. Like if I feel some type of way about something that you said, well, my feelings are real. They're there. Don't tell me they don't matter. And if the person that you're with or that you're talking to does that, that's when you're like, peace out. Like my feelings are shit to you.
Yeah, and you're invalidating people.
Yeah.
And again, not every emotion and reaction deserves validation. We know that, but somewhere between crazy and just normal, there's a big area there.
Yeah.
Like not everybody that tells you how they feel is a crazy person. And so a real good friend of mine, also past Beacon House guest, shout out Jordan Shipley. She just got back from California. She was telling me something about when people are giving, like people in the workplace give women compliments and how it can be creepy. And I was like, man, and I was like, so like, I'm really big on telling, hey, you look nice today. Or like, I told you already, like, I love your sweater. You know, like sometimes I just like to tell people, hey, you're great today. I said, is that out of line? Am I too much over the line? She goes, well, just be careful not to comment on something about somebody that they can't change. Like you could say, hey, I like your sweater. Hey, I like your makeup. Hey, I like this thing. But don't ever tell anybody like something about their looks or their something, you know what I mean, that they aren't in control of. That could be seen as rude or as creepy or something like that. So I don't really exactly know where that goes, but like basically like you don't ever want to tell somebody, hey, you're fat, or hey, you're stupid, or hey, like, you know, like you don't want to dig into somebody with a criticism that's like something that you could say like, that's not a great color on you, you know, or you could go like,
oh, you're kind of dim-witted, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like that. A little slow.
I get that a lot.
I get men constantly telling me they like my lips. And that's creepy.
Yeah. Would it be better if they said, I love your lip gloss, or I like
No,
this,
they just shouldn't.
I like the shade of lipstick on, or
They
your
just
lipstick
shouldn't
looks
say
good.
anything.
They shouldn't talk about your mouth.
No.
Okay. Noted. Don't talk about the girls. I heard it was nice to compliment a woman's makeup because they spend a lot of time on it to go, hey, your makeup looks really good.
Well, if a guy says that to me, it means like, oh, am I wearing too much makeup, or oh, am I not pretty when I'm not wearing makeup, or something like that. So
That's
like,
what I
just don't even like now when a female is like, oh, your makeup's really pretty, it's because girls like we do makeup, or like, oh, thank you, like I did something new with my eyes. But when a guy does it, it's like, well, am I not pretty without makeup?
See, that was my thought too, but I had several women
That's
go,
how
like,
I would.
Yeah.
I
feel like
take it.
I would say, hey, your makeup looks great. But the fucking face under it, you know, is fit to be fucking.
You should wear makeup more. It looks good today.
This is good. I can actually look at you.
Yay,
Yeah.
we like that. Yeah.
Yesterday, you were like a nuclear accident. You friggin' troll. You know, you look like they dug you out of the forest. You came from under a root.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say as a man, I wouldn't compliment a woman's makeup. You could be like, you look you look beautiful today, or like, well, you look a little like you look different. You look really great.
What is the best way to compliment a woman, in your opinion? If a guy were to walk, is it okay?
Are we talking about a compliment as like just like we're
Total
friends?
no, stranger. Like, guy walks up to a stranger. Is it okay to go, you look hot? Is that okay? Or is that too low? Or is that over the top?
That's literally like, I feel like that's what a 16-year-old would say.
Okay. So,
you're hot.
Yeah.
You're hot.
Because we have those thoughts. We think that, man, she's hot. Like there's a thing.
So I had this one time, and it's the best story because he got a date out of it. Okay. And it was the best way, for this to happen. It was like a few years ago. I was walking out of a Verizon store, and I had been in there for a minute, and this guy had been in there, and I think he was just in there to pay his bill or something. He looked like he had just got off work. He was like in a uniform or something. And we connected eyes. I remember connecting eyes to him, and like I just walked out, like didn't think anything about it, whatever. And I'm walking, I think I get like maybe 5 steps out the door, and he comes
after you. Whoa.
out the door, and he was like, hey, and I could tell he was in a rush. Like he was rushing because he probably had stuff he needed to go do, but he like came and he was like, hey, I don't mean to be a creep, but your eyes are absolutely amazing. You're stunning. He's like, I just have to, what is your name? And I was like, I looked at him because I was like, my first thought in my head is this guy just wants to fuck me. That is literally the first thing that goes through my head is like, this guy literally just wants to fuck me. And so he's pulling out whatever he can.
Yeah.
So I tell him my name, and he tells me his, and he's like, hey, he told me he was in a rush. He's like, I'm trying to pay a bill. I got to go. He's like, but I would love to get your phone number, or let me give you mine. And if you would let me take you on a date, I would love to. He said, I think you're beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that in itself, he didn't push any further.
Yeah.
He didn't we didn't have any more conversation. I let him give me his number. So I had the option to call.
Or not call.
And I did. I texted him. We went on a date. It was nice. We didn't really have much in common, turns out. But the way he did it was very, it was a more gentleman-like. He didn't call me hot. He didn't come chasing after me with his pants around his butt. He just got off work, and he was like, you're beautiful. Like, I just want to know what your name is. And so it went like that. We didn't have anything in common. I don't even remember his name.
But it was enough to get your attention.
It was, yeah, but it was nice. I'll say, out of all the times I've been chased out of a store, that was probably the nice ones. Because the other guys, they'll just be like, hey, you got a boyfriend?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you single?
Hey, yo,
what
girl.
you doing later? What you doing later?
Hey, yo, girl. Yo, ma.
Oh, God. Hey, Shotty.
Yo.
Hey, Shotty. What's up, Shotty?
Yo, Shotty, let me holler at you.
Come here, Shotty. That ass look good.
What if a guy came up to you?
I see them lips, those delicious lips.
What if a guy said that stuff to you, but like ironically? Like, what if, say you were at a bar and like you didn't really know him, but there were a few people that were kind of talking, like a group of people and maybe a friend of a friend. Like, let's say we were at a bar, you didn't know me, but you knew.
I knew like Brandon.
And I was there, and we're all laughing at the same kind of stuff like that. And I said something like that, but I did it jokingly, and I went, hey, shawty, why don't we hang out sometime? But I wasn't being serious. Would that be effective? On a scale of 10, rate if somebody goes, hey, shawty, let me get your number.
Like,
hey,
as a serious wanting my number, or just we're just playing with each other? Because then if it's just playing, then no, that's...
Like a serious wanting the number, but jokingly trying to get it. Like, not actually meaning that I talk like that. So you'd be like, fuck, no. What if somebody said, you look really nice tonight. We should go out sometime. Like, you look really, really cool. What about if it's just totally sincere, straight out?
Yeah, I feel like sincerity is where you get it. Definitely with me. Like, if we're out and we're like in a group of friends, and I don't really know you, and you come up to me and you're like, hey, I really enjoy your company, or I think you're beautiful, or, your laugh. I love your laugh. I would love to get your phone number and let me take you out. That's what's going to work for me, instead of like because if you did that, I would just I wouldn't take you seriously. at all. At that point, our relationship started off as me not taking you seriously for anything.
What about guys that like to challenge girls, that they're taught that like if you go up and kind of be a little mean to a girl, that's the best way to get her attention?
That shit doesn't work in elementary school. That shit doesn't work in middle school. That shit doesn't work in high school. That shit doesn't work now. The only time that works when a man can be mean to a woman is in the bedroom when you're choking me to death.
Okay. Listen, I don't mean that kind of. I don't mean like violent. I mean like I'm going to give you a bruise.
No. I know. I'm saying that's the only time that it's okay.
And you really don't think that there are a certain type of girl that absolutely the way in is to play on her insecurities? Like if you were to go up and if you're at a bar and go, hey, what's up? What are you doing? My name's so-and-so. Like, shit, you having a rough day? So you tell them like, man, what happened to you before you came here? Some guys do that, and it's effective on some girls. Well,
one, in my opinion, the girl should probably be in therapy.
That's true. That's true.
Probably shouldn't be dating.
For the record, I'm not recommending that. And I've never been one of those guys. And I know guys that do that and they use it to their advantage. I don't think it's okay. But
now it's okay if like we're friends, but if I don't know you and you're hitting on me and that's the approach that you're coming,
fuck that.
I'm just going to think you're a fucking douchebag. And I get you're trying to be funny, but you're not being funny.
What about you 10 years ago? Would you have felt the same way, or would you have felt challenged and intrigued? Because you're pretty, you're mature and smart.
No.
Okay, good. That's good.
No.
That means you've been smart.
It didn't work for me when I was 5 when the guys pulled my pigtails.
Yeah. Oh, remember those guys on the playground that didn't know how to talk to girls, so they just beat them up?
Yeah, I used to get beat up all this. One guy would literally push me off the swing all the time. I would have, my knees would be bloody from like falling on like the wood chips on the playground, like all this stuff. He'd make fun of me.
You probably had a chance with that guy.
Probably still do.
He probably just wanted you to say something to him, like, hey, quit it, and hit him back playfully.
Hey, he's probably a douchebag.
Yeah, that's true.
He probably went to a fraternity.
He's probably still in one.
He probably joined a fraternity. That's probably what happened, because those are usually the guys. The ones that are assholes to girls are guys that, in my experience, are ones that join fraternities. Man,
and it works on so many girls. It's sad. It's sad.
It does work on girls.
I've got a lot of female friends that have dated a lot of fucking douchebags, man. And like, again, and I'm sure that my ex-girlfriends have friends who tell them that about me too. But I will say some of my friends that are girls, like, I don't know, man. I always advise them, like, dude, you need to make them earn it. Make them earn it. Like, they'll be, well, like he's pretty soon he's getting a car, and until then I'm like taking him everywhere, and like he's like in between jobs, but it's cool because he's like helping me around the house, like, and basically what they're saying is like, this fucking guy is pilfering money off of me. He has no car, he has no fucking job, he doesn't do anything, he's basically, I'm paying for everything, but he gives me attention, and it's going to be okay because he's about to, and then he's like cheating on her, but I just want to be like, man, somewhere you need to make him kind of earn it a little bit.
I fell for I think like 2. Like, my baby daddy was a piece of shit, and like he lived off me. He was a fucking leech.
How did he leech? How did he get your? How did he capture your eye?
Well, I don't even want. He makes me want to vomit.
Was he just gorgeous?
Makes me want to vomit. No, he was funny. He was funny. We got along great. He's a Leo. I'm a Gemini. Leos and Geminis get along very well. He's very funny. He's extremely intelligent. I will give him that he is very intelligent. And so we connected on a lot of levels. But even there's so many red flags now that I look to the back of it. It was like, I was the one paying the bills. I was the one that was steady with steady income. I was the one, he literally was like having to live off me, and I was always making up excuses to why he didn't have this. And so it was like him and like one other person I think I fell for that were just leeches, where they just lived off me. So I'm glad that like most of my significant others have been successful, or at least they make more money than I do. I try, I guess. And when I'm dating someone and I find and I'm looking for a companion, like I want them to be where I am.
Yeah.
Goal oriented and with priorities, and able to sustain their life that they have, or in a better position, like making more money, more goals, like they're up here So, because I'm striving to be that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So my problem isn't so much that I let bums live off me. My thing is like I find the ones that are emotionally unavailable.
I get it.
And so I end up just like putting too much of my heart into something when it doesn't belong there.
And I am also very attracted to people that are not emotionally available. And I don't know why. I feel like you and I are probably a lot alike, but and there's a psychological reason that like when you're attracted to things that will destroy you, it's because of something you've seen. You know, like I read a thing recently where they talked about if you grew up in a household where it was like tough love, like suck it up and go do your thing, and like fucking suck it up and like get your shit together, like be tough, like quit crying. And like if you grow up in a not even in a household, but if you just watch movies like that when you're like, my household was very nurturing and very fucking, you know what I mean? Like my parents were super nice. My mom made me a snack and all that. But I grew up watching movies that were just like, be tough, you young piece of shit, like get your shit together, be tough. And like if you grow up like that, you will start to think things like that your value is somehow outside of you. Mm-hmm. Like your value comes from the things you do or the things you can provide, or you become sort of like a caretaker or a people pleaser or something like, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like just sitting still, you have any value. You feel like you have to do things to have value. And so that's, you know what I mean? Everything kind of comes from somewhere, but that I feel like that need to like attract people that are emotionally available also comes from something
in there. I came from a very dysfunctional family background, just chaotic, so I think that's like a lot of my ways of seeing red flags and toxic I don't do is because it's how I grew up.
Yeah, that's the norm.
You know what I mean? Like I can't handle fighting. Like I used to have a really bad temper, but it also goes back from like being with I'm just gonna call him fucking, I don't know, shithead, comes from like my trauma of such an abusive relationship. It's like, so certain things now in relationships, I can't handle.
Right.
And I still need things because of what I went through or abuse or the dysfunction from my family. It's like, I need constant validation that like, you're going to be there. You're not going to abandon me or leave me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, and that just kind of speaks to, everybody's working their shit out, trying to find out what the path forward looks like for them. And dude, I'll wrap up by saying this. I'll read something that my buddy Jordan, we were talking about stuff like this, and just, you got to love yourself, man, and respect yourself, and don't sell yourself short. Don't let anybody else sell you short too. And if you're having a hard time liking yourself, she sent me this thing, and I thought this was a pretty cool quote. She said she heard this somewhere, and it really changed her outlook on stuff. But it said, if you could hate yourself into a better life, it would have worked by now.
I like yeah.
Isn't that neat? So just stop being hard on yourself, and don't let anybody else treat you like a butthole either.
I did. I had a friend told me even earlier today, he said, he's like, Grace, I'm going to tell you every day that I can good things about yourself because I know you're not saying them to yourself. Ooh. And you need to. It's like everybody needs to hear good things about themselves because even you could be the most secure person in yourself, but you're never going to, unless you're just an egotistic asshole, you're not sitting there telling yourself like, I am the most beautiful or I am so caring. You're always thinking of like, how can I be better? Or what am I not doing that's right? Or look at my imperfections that I have. Yeah. So you need someone, we do as human beings, because it's just our nature to have, we need to hear like we're doing a good job. Like my friend just telling me like, hey Grace, you're kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like you're doing, like, look at where you were 8 years ago to where you are today. Like you're kicking ass. Just hearing that is helpful.
Yes, for everybody. And everybody likes hearing those things. And it's, I guarantee you, there's a thing where, like, no matter how much you tell yourself, like, I'm good, and you do a lot of self-care and you do therapy and like you get your shit together and like it still feels good when somebody comes along and goes, dude, that's really rad. Or you did this thing really good. Or like, dude, that, like, I'm glad that like you did that thing for me, or I'm glad I work with you, or whatever. When somebody holds up a mirror to like your positive aspects, That's very, very, very good for you. So do that. Fucking you people, do that this week. Tell somebody how good they are.
Yeah.
Give somebody a compliment. Like, don't
help them.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll speak to Grace, I guess, when she gets back.
Oh, I have so many stories.
Yes.
And I'll document it all.
Yes.
Put it on social media.
I'm waiting to see. I hope you get to eat the taco with the stripper.
I just hope it's good tacos.